Okay, we're back at the Action Phase booth, and we're going to take a look at Scoundrel Society with designer and publisher Travis Chance.
Let me tip my top hat to you. Good day. There you go. All right, so yeah, this is excuse my voice. As you know, I talk too much. So this is Scoundrel Society. We just had this game. It just finished up on Kickstarter a couple of weeks ago. We funded. We were able to unlock some neat stretch goals, and it's a game my partner and I worked on. Nick and I worked on, and it's pretty neat. So the idea of the game, how it kind of came about, was that my design partner wins 90% of the time when we play games. So I said, I'm going to make a first place loses game just to spite you. So I was kind of working on this in the background, and I brought it to him, and it was fun, and he couldn't win. So I knew that my vengeful motivation to make the game had succeeded. So we ended up moving forward and actually putting the game out. So the idea of the game is, for those of you who know the movie Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, you know, very hip current with all the One Direction fans out there.
That's right.
Yeah. Guys like Joel and I know what it is, and it's an awesome movie, and if you haven't seen it, you should. The idea of the game is that the characters are going to take the role of these sort of elite con artists in 1920s, 1930s, and what they're doing is they are going to be picking a rich person and robbing them into oblivion. So they have a game every year where they pick a person and they just rob them. The bad part is there's this tenacious Constable Cramphorn, who's hot on their trail, trying to catch them and put an end to their game. So what we're going to be doing in the game is we're going to be stealing from the estate of a mark, if you will. In this case, it would be the Dane. The marks are really simple, and all they really do is they just augment the value of cards in the game. So here it says at the end of the game, jewelry are worth an additional point. And just that one point will actually change the way the game plays substantially, because people want these things. The hook of the game is all the stuff that we're stealing has two values. It has a point value, like here on the Mona Lisa, that's worth 8 points. That's a lot of points. But then it also has a suspicion value. Now the Constable card that I showed you a minute ago, what happens is he's going to be shuffled into the bottom 10 cards of the deck. Whenever he comes up, instantly, there's no finish out the round, there's no finish the action on your card. As soon as that card comes out, game's over. The Constable's there, and someone's going to jail. What you do is you calculate who has the most suspicion. So you're going to get that off of your loot cards that you collect through the game, and then there's going to be some cards that will actually give you suspicion tokens. You calculate that sum. Whoever has the most, the player or players with the most suspicion, are eliminated. From the remaining players, the player with the most points win the game. So what we're going to be doing is we'll all be a unique character, so we got variable player powers, which is something that we really like to do in our games. We're going to have a special ability, and we're going to have sort of like a passive ability. For those of you who played Heroes Wanted, it's a little similar. We're going to have a hand of cards that are everyone's got the same hand of cards. One of the cards, this one right here, triggers your special ability, and then your other ability is kind of just ongoing. We're going to be stealing things from the mark, and then we're going to be taking them and hiding them, stashing them so that other players can't interact with them. That's also going to help keep our score and our suspicion value secret. So there's never going to be a way to accurately keep a beat on it. So you're always kind of second guessing yourself. Well, he stole the Mona Lisa, but I don't know. I stole 3 things in a row that have 2, so maybe I'm in as much trouble as he is. And what you're going to do is all the players are going to have these cards, and you're going to pick a card. Everyone's going to put it face down, and all they're going to start with is a copper coin in their pocket. Okay, you're going to flip the card over, and then you're going to resolve the card. Another neat mechanic in the game is this is what happens if you're the only person to select that card. This is what happens if more than one player selects that card. 3 of the cards are worse if they have a lesser ability if multiple players choose that card. One of the cards, your special ability, your scheme, is actually better if you do it, because you're sort of commiserating with the other scoundrels. And one card, store, is the same no matter what. So it's a multi-stage process of stealing the loot, and some of the loot's going to have special abilities, like the treasure map here says when I steal it, I flip over the top 4 cards of the deck, and I got to pick one of these things and hide it immediately. So here's the Declaration of Independence. Well, that's pretty neat, and hey, I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan, but guess what? This card's only good if it's out in front. front of me, which makes it vulnerable because other people can steal it. So maybe I'll take the forged deed here and I'll pretend like I'm going to take over what's left in the estate and tuck it underneath my card. Well, that's a valuable card, but guess what? Now I have this zero value loot that's got 2 suspicion stuck in front of me. And there's all these ways to switch loot around. So for example, if you had the Mona Lisa in front of you, I could play switch and I could give you this and take this. If I was the only player that played switch, after that I get to tuck a loot away. And you can only have so much loot in front of you also. You can only ever have 3 pieces of loot unless it's like the copper coin has a special ability where, since it's just a simple coin, it doesn't take up much space in your inventory, so it doesn't count against your inventory. And you're basically going to just keep doing that. Everyone's going to play your cards. You're going to play through all 5 of your actions. So there's a sequencing and deduction element to the game as well. It plays very quickly. It plays in about 30-45 minutes. It's pretty thinky. There's some really neat stuff going on with the cards. We've got, you know, some Indiana Jones type, tapestries kind of stuff going on. We've got the historical loot. We've even got mythological loot like the Ark of the Covenant. So there's kind of a nod to Indiana Jones in here. It's a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun making it and playing with it. So.
Great. Thanks, Travis. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.